I want you to join me in thinking about 3 women that you absolutely adore and admire the most. As I list them, I want you to raise your hand and please keep your hand up. A sister, a mother, a cousin, an aunt, a best friend, a coworker, a teacher, a boss, mentor, coach. Now only keep your hand up if this one particular person came to mind. Yourself. Interesting, right? Now, who is the one person that's always been there for you on a moment's notice, has forgiven you when you've needed the most, has been through every celebration, every heartache, and every decision with you? That one person is and should be you. Years ago, I had participated in a group exercise that was life-changing, and we had to stand in the middle, surrounded by a group of about 10 people. And they had to face us and pour beautiful compliments into us. Well, we just had to stand there and not say a word, and we could not exit the circle. We were stuck there. And it felt like eternity, and it was the most difficult exercise I've done in my entire life. And there was not a dry eye in the room. When we prioritize our self-love, self-worth, self-respect, it trickles into all of our relationships. The relationship that we have with ourselves, it sets the tone for the relationship that we have with other women. I remember one time, I was sitting with my grandmother on a bench, and I was sharing my frustration with the relationship in my life. And you want to know what she said to me? She said, "Erin, you cannot see something in someone else that you don't already have in yourself." And I was like, "Grandma, I thought you were on my side." And at first I was a little kind of taken back and frustrated, but she was so right, and she was on my side. That's why she was telling me that. And she basically taught me that it takes one to know one. When we step into this amazing, beautiful awareness, you will be shocked at what life will mirror back to you. Recently, I was beachside, I had my bathing suit on, my overalls, I love overalls, I call them moo-moo, and my Birkenstocks, and I jumped out of my truck, and I was walking into a store, and I saw this gorgeous woman. She was probably 85 years old, and something about her, she was just like radiating life, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, if I can pull off what she's doing, her aura, as my boys say, if I can pull off her aura when I'm in that chapter, like I've made it in life. And she looked at me and she's like, "You look so beautiful." She's like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "You don't look beautiful." She's like, "You are beautiful." And I was like, "Thank you." I'm like, it takes one to know one. When we hold space for self-love, we reflect that outward into all of our relationships. And we can turn competition into collaboration, comparison into connection. I was sharing with one of my friends, Carissa, many years ago. She's also a business owner, and we used to do these back porch therapy sessions. And one of my struggles was raising my prices, and I was struggling. I was standing in a place of lack of self-worth, I should say, and lack of confidence. And she was like, "Erin, what are you doing? Like, you've got this. You deserve so much more. Like, you have to step into that." And she was able to give me that gift because she already had that within herself. When we begin to unconditionally embrace our flaws and our strengths, we're able to be vulnerable with other women, giving them this gift that they can relate to us, and we can provide resources to them for something that we've already been through. Recently, I decided to go back to school on a whim. When I say a whim, like I haven't been in school almost 25 years. I had the thought rollerblading one day, and then a week later I was taking 3 classes. And everything went great, and I'm to the point where I have to take 2 math classes, and I hate math. It doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't exist in my world. I know it does have to exist. And I was kind of throwing a temper tantrum. I was being a 3-year-old, and I was frustrated. And I was talking to my friend Lisa, who went back to school later in life. She became a doctor, and she politely was like, "Erin, if it unlocks the door for you where you want to go, like, shouldn't you?" And I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll get over myself." So I'm signed up for classes, the only 2 classes I'm doing for the rest of the year, but it's getting done. And I can say if I didn't have a supportive network, I probably would have talked myself out of it. I remember years ago, I made a conscious decision that I wanted to invest more into my female relationships. I used to stand in a place of isolation, resentment, frustration. Now I prioritize them. If somebody calls me for girls' weekend, I am there. If a girl reaches out to grab lunch, I am there. Because every time I always get this wonderful energy. We're able to work through things together that you can't do that in every relationship. I look at them all as teachers. My friend Teresa, she has 8 children. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And she has taught me that it's okay to let go, like let your kids, like you've already poured so much into them, they've got this, and just trust that it'll be okay. My sister-in-law, who was taught me many times to have more grace, and I can't tell you how many times I called her afterwards, I'm like, hey, I was thinking about what you said, and you're right, like I need to get over myself. My beautiful mom, who's here today, Mom, raise your hand, so everyone knows who you are. So, she has taught me an amazing work ethic, and she is a pillar of an example of what kindness is. If we can fall into love with ourselves, we're able to fall into connection with other women, creating this powerful collective network. And if we can do that, it will change future generations to come, because we are the example. And we'll leave you with a simple reminder. Pay attention to what you're noticing in other women. Are you noticing judgment? You're self-judging them. Or are you noticing beautiful details about them that you would also want for yourself? Because as my grandma once taught me, it takes one to know one. Thank you.